in the church,
Great
right?
question.
Right.
I grew up in like Christian school, Catholic school,
Yeah.
but I was kind of in a divided house too. So
Mm,
my dad is a scientist. He's not into God
yeah,
at all
agnostic
whatsoever.
for sure.
My mom's side is more so. Um, so I really feel like my family allowed me to choose.
Oh,
You know, I think a lot of kids like you just have to go to
yeah,
church.
just thrown on us. Yeah.
But I started in kindergarten and like in a Christian school, and so once you start to learn about God early on, I think it just kind of it stays with you.
Yeah.
It made sense to me, um, and so I was proud to be Christian. But it's been a very challenging journey being Christian for sure
Absolutely.
because I can say like loud and proud right now, I'm Christian
Yeah.
and that's it,
No doubt.
period. But it wasn't always that way. And
Mm,
there was times where I felt ashamed or wasn't sure if I was Christian, not because of me, but
mm,
because of, outside. I
exactly.
think church really made me feel like I wasn't Christian.
The irony.
And that's like that your formative age, like middle school, high school, and they're like making it seem like I'm I'm not like them. So, and I could feel that. I can sense that like, oh, they don't really see me as part of this group.
So outcasting you almost.
Yeah. And I've tried church on so many different times. Even now I'm still looking for a church.
Wow.
But I've just been people think I think people come are quick to judge me, and I get that. I
Mm.
embrace that because I'm me. You can't just go around and just curse and talk. And there was a part of me where I was like, maybe I'm not, but now I'm confident. I know who I am. I am Christian. And I don't have to. I don't have to shit on anybody. I don't have to divide anyone. Um,
No doubt.
I feel like the only person that really knows what you're up to is God, right?
Amen, yo. Oh my gosh.
Nobody else knows. So
Facts.
act accordingly, and you and God know what's up.
That was
You
awesome
could
though.
act like an
That
angel, 23 hours out of the day, but that 1 hour where you're
hour
doing something that's not supposed to be doing something like heinous or
he
evil, what
knows.
does it matter?
It doesn't
And
matter.
so that's one thing I really wish that, it's another reason I want to come on your podcast
Mm,
is just to give people like me a voice,
please, yeah.
being Christian, but also not fitting that typical mode.
Yes. Absolutely.
And not that there's anything wrong with, I guess, the typical mode.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But I guess the issue that I do have, I wish there could be like an attitude adjustment amongst all of us as Christians.
Mm.
It's just like, hey, let's be more welcoming. Let's treat it less like a business. You know,
Which it is,
why are
right?
there? Why we have a road in Duluth, Georgia, in K Town called Meadow Church Road, and on Meadow Church Road, I
Uh
think there's like 10, 15 churches on that road. Multiple Korean churches,
what? Just on
not
one
not
block.
just Korean churches, all different types. Why? What's the purpose of that?
That
You know,
unless it's business, yeah, no. Oh my goodness. Really, their whole block is just
the
straight up a
whole street is just one church after another church after another church, and it's called Meadow Church Road. I don't
Meadow
know if that was
Church
on
Road.
purpose or what, but when I see something like that, I'm
Yeah,
just like, so basically, they're just building up walls. They're neighbors, but they're building up these walls and
invisible
divisions.
walls.
We
Yeah,
never get to meet each other. We never know each other, and I don't really feel like that's a core Christian value.
not at all.
And I know I'm thinking of a lot of things that logistically are difficult to coordinate.
Yeah.
Um, who's the pastor, congregation, tithing. Where you, I know there's a business aspect to a church.
Yeah.
There has to be, you know.
Politics, social politics, yeah.
But I just don't agree with it. So I left church because I felt like an outsider. I'd go there, and as much as I try to be like, hey, I'm like you guys,
Yeah.
and I made some really deep, meaningful relationships at church. I'm still friends with to this day, that I still hang with, that I still consider,
It's awesome.
you know, like that.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, when I'm feeling like the pastor is like not cool with me, like almost like a sense of like, why is he here? He's causing a disruption, you know?
That judgment.
I don't want to cause a disruption. You know what they told me the first time I was there? So I love playing basketball. I love to hoop, man. I've been hooping ever
That's
since.
I love. We got a hoop. Oh my goodness, yeah, for sure.
Love to hoop, man.
Uh-huh.
So Korean churches, there's always a basketball court. So I get there, I'm like, hey,
Oh,
you
man.
guys have a youth team? Because I would love to help the youth team play basketball.
Yeah.
The pastor looks at me, he's like, well, you know, we're gonna have to get to know you. Don't take this the wrong way, but we don't know you, and you could be a child stranger.
What the?
That's what he,
Shut
that's
the
what he
fuck.
said to me, and I was like,
Shut the. Are you serious, bro? You're kidding.
And I was like, okay, I can fully respect that, and in a way I do, you know, because you're right, I am a stranger, but that's not how I would have approached it. You know
Not
what
the
I mean?
first. That's not the
how I
first
would approach it.
comment.
I can see protecting your youth, very important. You don't know me, but
Not
when
that
you do it
response,
like
though.
that, I mean, you're already putting up your guard and your fence, and already letting me know like I'm not welcome. I stayed as long as I did at that church because of the friendships that I'd made.
Damn, you still stayed after that too. Shit.
But ultimately, like,
You tried to make it work.
I felt unwanted, and I was like, all right, if they don't want me, then let me bounce out of here, you know?
Damn.
And another thing that's really hard about church, I think, is especially for me now,
Yeah.
tithing is important. You go to church, you got to tithe. Okay.
Yep. 10%. Yep.
And I'm not saying because it's in the Bible or it's not in the Bible and all of that, you know, you could take it for how you want.
Yeah.
But when you go to church, you're in a community, okay? And when you're part of a community, like you got to help support that community.
Yeah.
You know, that's what tithing is about. And I'm not saying every church is like this, but I will tell you that I've definitely had some circumstances where I felt like churches wanted me because they saw that, okay, this could, you know, increase the tithe.
Oh.
Perhaps I'm being judgmental on my end.
No,
you know?
no,
I
not at
definitely
all.
Could be,
Not at all.
but I can't help but feel that way because it's like, man, when I had nothing, I could be a child stranger, right?
But now that you have something.
Now that I have some success and people put a little respect on my name, now it's like, oh yeah, you know, come here, do this. with us,
Welcome, do
that
whatever
with
you
us.
want.
And
Here's the
I
keys.
don't know. It's tough. It's really, really tough. And I don't want to say that they have a hidden agenda, you know, but I can't help but feel a little strange. Like, what's the difference between me back then and
now.
me now? And when I think like, man, there's a lot of like some like superficial judgments that's happening, you know, when you walk into church, and it really just, that part really hurts me. And I don't even know how I'm going to handle Stella with church, because I grew up in church. I went to Christian schools. I think it's important. I think religion is important. And, but at the same time, I don't want her to feel like an outsider. You know, it's such a difficult line to walk, and it's not one way or the other way.
Absolutely. There's no one answer, right?
I'm still looking for that church that I can really just like jump into, that, you know, I can help. I think probably the church that ideally, what I would like to happen is it's a young pastor, someone just getting started.
Yeah.
You know, no money. They need resources. They need help. Like, I think that's the type of church that might be best suited for someone like me to be a part of, rather than some like Korean mega church or mega church that's already established.
Yeah.
Thing going on.
Yeah, that might be your calling. Yeah, for sure.
Because I just, I don't want to feel weird when I'm at church, you know?
Not at
I don't
all.
want to feel like, man, am I in the, do these people like me? Should I
It's
be
the
here? Am
last
I in the wrong
place.
place? If you feel like that at church, then you shouldn't be there. And actually, what ultimately made me leave the last church I was at was
Hmm.
I had a really good friend, and I saw how they treated. She wasn't Korean.
Oh man.
And I saw how they treated her, and eventually they did what they did to me to her. She didn't feel welcome. She stopped going. And she was just she's the sweetest person. She's one of my best friends to this day.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, it was just like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this anymore. And it's been a journey. I'm still looking for that church, but I don't want to shit on church because I know there's good
Oh,
churches
not
out
at
there. I
all.
know there's
Yeah,
great
not at all.
churches out
Just
there.
you personally. Yeah, your
Uh,
experience.
but my experience, I've definitely felt like an outsider. I've definitely felt like maybe I'm not Christian because of church, but I'm sure of myself now. I know who I am 1,000%.
No doubt.
And church, we're gonna find one. We're gonna get there.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Amen.
Praying for that. And